Hi, my name's Vicky Foxcroft and I'm the Shadow Minister for Disabled People, and I've just been asked to talk a little bit about my background before I went to De Montfort University. So I'm going to be very honest with you. I didn't particularly do very well at school. I didn't get any A's to C's or 4 to 8s in my GCSEs. I really struggled. I moved about. I grew up in temporary accommodation. I lived all over Lancashire. But then I was really lucky to go to college and I studied a BTEC in performing arts. And whilst I was studying this, I did my GCSE English at night school. And lots of people supported me and made me believe in myself and made me believe that I could go to university. And I visited a number of different universities that I got into, one being York and the other being De Montfort University. And when I was at De Montfort University, a lot of people were really surprised that I actually had got into York and decided to go to De Montfort University instead. But I have to say to you, I have absolutely no regrets about that. I studied drama and business at De Montfort University. I made loads and loads of great friends, and it really instilled in me the confidence to be able to go on. You know, when I first went to university, this was 1996, and I was in Bedford, and I had somebody knock on my door campaigning for the Labour Party. And so I got involved in politics and campaigning heavily for the Labour Party then. And in 1997, I was absolutely ecstatic when we went and won that general election, because for me, growing up, all I had was a Conservative government, and I really, really wanted that Labour government and that change to happen. Now, you might wonder, how did somebody studying drama and business end up getting involved in politics? But I really do believe that education is how you can go and make those changes. For me, studying drama really went and taught me about so many other things and really gave me that excitement for education. It taught me about geography, about history, and actually about politics. And when I was finishing and doing my dissertation at university, I actually did mine on political theatre and the demise of it and the demise in funding. And it was absolutely fantastic. I had an amazing time. It really was an experience that I'll never forget. And it's the reason why when I got the email in terms of the alumni stuff about the fact that De Montfort University was going to be celebrating Disability History Month and wanted to hear about people's experiences, I really felt that as Shadow Minister for Disabled People that I should get in touch and talk a little bit about mine. So in April 2019, I got diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. It was quite a shock to me and I wasn't really sure of what to do. Thankfully, right now through the medication I'm on, I'm actually in remission. But in April 2020, I was asked to be the Shadow Minister for Disabled People. This was right at the start of the pandemic, so there was a lot of issues that needed to be raised about disabled people, be that access to food, be that adjustments in education, be that political communications not being in the right formats, be that the extra costs that were associated, and actually the disproportionate number of deaths and people having do not resuscitate notices placed on their records. I felt it was really important to organise a lot of road shows. Many of these were online because we had to go and adapt in terms of how we went and did stuff. But it's really changed me, and I think it's made me a better person. Being the Shadow Minister for Disabled People, you know, I work with, I co-produce, I listen to what disabled people say to me. And I really want to end up one day being the Minister for Disabled People, because I really do want to make sure that those changes that people speak to me about housing, about transport, about public buildings, about education, and about how the Department for Work and Pensions treats people, about how to get into rewarding, fulfilling work, about changing the way that our media works, making sure that we have more disabled people in those high profile positions is really, really important to me. And it really gives me the drive every single day to get up. And, you know, obviously I would rather be the Minister for Disabled People than the Shadow Minister for Disabled People. But thank you for letting me share with you a bit today.